And when I say we're living inside the matrix, I'm not stating that with irony or as a joke, or I don't want you to use it as an example of how the world could be. We are genuinely, actually living inside of the matrix. The matrix is real. The very basic premise of the matrix is that humans are nothing more than batteries for the machines.
In order to change a human being into this.
And in the world we currently live in, every single one of you is being reduced in real time to nothing more than a QR code. You're losing autonomy over your own bloodstream. You're losing the ability to walk freely, to go where you want, to make own personal choices regarding your medical decisions. You're losing all of that. That's all being replaced because you are a cog in a machine, and that machine is soulless. The reason that the humans are fighting the machines inside of the matrix is because machines have no soul. All they care about is efficiency, slavery. And this is what's happening to you. The machine is reducing you in real time to nothing more but a slave. There is a reason humanity fights against machines in the matrix. Because machines have no soul. Machines are ruthless. They look at things purely from a numbers perspective. They don't care if a few people die from it. As long as most people don't die, right? Most won't die, a few will die, boo-hoo, their families. It's good for us overall. That's how machines think. They don't care about your individualism. In fact, they want to crush your individualism. They want you to do your job well enough for them to benefit, but they don't want you to think outside of that job. A lot of people still think in terms of right and left politically, or they think in terms of China and America from a country perspective. It goes beyond all of that. So when you understand that the governments of Earth, all the varying governments, and let's go a step beyond that, call me a conspiracy theorist, the varying interests which are above governments, which control, the food you eat, the money you use, who buy all the politicians. These interests, when they're combating, they make sure they take every single possible opportunity to exert power. Because if they didn't, they would lose. It's a chess game. So if something happens, a black swan event, I don't know, a disease appears, and they realize in real time that it's not actually a big deal, they will still use that opportunity to exert power. Because it's an advantage. They go, okay, people are obeying more than they'd normally obey. People believe the propaganda more than they'd normally believe. People are ignoring their own eyes. This is a chance here for us to make some chess moves and exert more power and more control, because we're going to need this power and control to combat our enemies.
Genau so schaut's nämlich aus. Egal ob rechts gegen links, Mann gegen Frau, schwarz gegen weiß, oben gegen unten, dies gegen das. All das sind gesellschaftliche Sollbruchstellen. In einem pyramidal angeordneten System ist es wichtig, dass die Leute oben gucken, dass sich die Leute unten nicht allzu gut miteinander verstehen. Und wenn ich sagen höre, dass der Vergleich der Realität mit der Matrix zu verrückt sei, dann frage ich, ist es verrückter als anzunehmen, dass sich die Regierung eines Landes um meine Gesundheit schert, indem man 3 Salami-Pizzen für 2 Euro bekommt? Die Gründe für den ganzen Wahnsinn da draußen bestehen natürlich aus unterschiedlichsten Faktoren. Der wichtigste und entscheidendste Faktor ist aber der blinde Gehorsam weiter Teile der Exekutive. Film ab.
The limits to their exertion is usually the police force, right? The police of Earth, which are actually the biggest cowards in this entire scam, are the limit as to what the elites can exert on the common man. If you look at countries like Australia, which are completely crazy, it's because the police enforce it. If you look in some other countries where the police refuse to enforce, it seems that the doesn't exist. Funny that. Prevent them from using their bank, prevent them from going outside, prevent them from going to restaurants. This is what they're going to do to every single person. They no longer, soon in the future, they're not going to need a physical human police force, because humans are human. As stupid as police can be, you can stand in front of one and say, my friend, you and I are the same. Why are you punishing me? And maybe you'll get through, but you can't do that with the camera that scans your QR code. Do you understand? The future is very dystopian on a tangent, because in the future, the entire police force will be AI. It'll all be roboticized, and robots have no soul. And then you're really in trouble. This is what I'm talking about, chess pieces and how they exert their power. Because as they reduce you to a QR code, as they reduce you to nothing more than a medical status as to whether you comply, because that's what they really want. I'm not going to sit here and say that anything's dangerous. What I'm going to say is they want to know who blindly complies and who thinks for themselves. And the people who think for themselves must be punished.
So schaut's nämlich aus, liebe Wachhunde des Systems. Sie werden euch eines Tages einfach ersetzen, denn sie scheißen auf euch genauso wie auf den Rest von uns. Und manch einer mag sich die Frage stellen, wieso sollten Leute, die schon so mächtig sind, immer weiter versuchen, ihre Macht auszubauen? Dabei muss man verstehen, dass Macht eine ganz besondere Eigenschaft hat. Film ab.
For the sake of this video, it doesn't matter who these powers are. It only matters that you understand they exist and you understand what is happening. You understand this is an opportunity for people who are only interested in power to exert more power. Now, quickly, I have conversations with people who are far more ignorant and naive than I. And they don't understand why people would just chase unlimited power. They say, well, why would the people in charge of the world make us do all of these, you know, if it wasn't good for us? Why would they do that? Why would they do that? And these people are ignorant because they've never had any power. The only thing that never gets boring is power, because power gives you an adrenaline rush. It's an ego. It fuels your ego. It feeds you. If you were born with absolutely unlimited money, you have no respect for money. You've never been poor. You don't have that juxtaposition to compare it to. You've never sat there hungry. So of course you don't appreciate when you have food. Do you think the people who are born into the families that print the money are going to be happy with a Ferrari? What's a Ferrari? 200 grand? These people control trillions. They're uninterested in that. What they're interested in is being respected and revered and feared like God.
Das ist es nämlich, worum es geht. Macht ist kein Mittel zum Zweck, Macht ist der Zweck. Macht ist das Einzige, was niemals langweilig wird. Für die Leute, die schon alles haben, ist Macht das Einzige, was übrig bleibt. Paradoxerweise ist es jedoch so, dass die eigentliche Macht bei dem einfachen Bürger liegen würde. Jeder, der diesen Wahnsinn so nicht akzeptiert, kann was dagegen machen. Es gibt Sachen, die jeder Einzelne tun kann. Film ab.
It is your job overall to try and awaken people and try to make them use their own eyes and their own brain and to stop believing whatever they're told by the machines, by the elitists. Stop complying unless they make you comply. Don't put on and then go in the store. Go in the store with no and make them tell you to, and then say, oh, I don't have one. Make them give you one. Do you understand that if everybody did this for a week, the level of headache for the people running the store, they just give up? If every single person walked in, excuse me, I ain't got one, they're giving out all these free, it's over, right? Stop blindly complying. Make them try a little bit. You must make them try. What kind of weakling are you to just completely roll over with no resistance? At least make them ask. Even if you just go, okay, and put it, you ain't gonna go to jail. Nothing bad's gonna happen to you. Why are you rolling over just like a complete wimp? Put some kind of resistance in the atmosphere and encourage everyone around you to do the same. In here, well, let's make them tell us and let's make them give them to us. Let's say we don't have them. That's all it takes.
Nur darum geht es, liebe Leute. Hört auf, blind zu gehorchen. Hört auf, euch zu bücken und schon mal die Vaseline drauf zu schmieren. All diejenigen, die wie ich daran zweifeln, dass diese Kippen, Alkohol und Zucker verseuchte Gesellschaft auf Dinge wie Solidarität oder Gesundheit auch nur einen geringsten Fick gibt, der ist dazu angehalten, bei diesem Wahnsinn nicht mehr mitzumachen. Bis dahin, Like, Abo, Glocke, Daumen, Kommentar, all das gute Zeug und bis zum nächsten Mal.
And that's all, folks.